Hello everyone, the next episode of Ask Dr. Virgil. This is Make Electronics Experiment 22 with latching, flip-flops, debouncing, etc. So, just one thing about the last experiment. I mentioned that my slide switch was not breadboard friendly. I went to Radio Shack and bought a double pole, double throw slide switch here. The advantage is, if you can see it, that it's got two rows, so it holds into the breadboard better. It's a little more breadboard friendly than the one I had from Adafruit. So I'm going to put it in the back in the breadboard. Plug things in, and see if we can move over here, and you can see what's going on. Sorry about this. Okay, so what we have here is a breadboard with a 748C02 NOR chip and a 74HC00 and a NAND chip. So when we flop the switch back and forth on this side, it goes back and forth. The point is to show debouncing, meaning that if you had debouncing is mostly a problem with push button switch because it doesn't as the switch bounces, you get additional fluctuations. The NOR chip debounces by going through the gates and feeding back upon itself. So it's either one state or the other. That's the point. It's one state or the other. So we flip this switch this way, and that light comes on. We go the other way, and the other light comes on. Now, if we move the switch over to the other set of gates, which is the NAND gate complex, we have the same thing. Light goes on, light goes off. Can you see that? Okay. Let's try it this way. Light goes on, light goes off. I'm still behind you there. Light's on over there. The other light's off. Okay, there it goes. So it's going back and forth. But it's consistently in one state or the other. This type of debouncing only works with a double throw switch. Button debouncing, which to my estimation is more important. What I'm able to do with this process, it's more complex according to Charles, and we'll find out more about that. And I'll explain the rest of this on the blog. But this is actually a very straightforward experiment. Didn't take too long. The hardest part was one of my chips didn't work, and I had to figure out over and over again that my wiring was correct. And once I convinced myself that my wiring is correct, it's a hardware problem. So I swapped out the chip, and everything works fine. The only difference between these two, by the way, is that on the NOR side, the switch is connected to power. On the NAND side, the switch is connected to ground. And on the NOR chip, these are pull-down resistors. And on the NAND chip, they're pull-up resistors, 10K pull-up resistors. So it's just reversing the process. Interesting experiment. I'm ready to move on. See you again for experiment 23.